Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Heart to Heart show. Today is going to be a very interesting episode. It's the first real episode. All the other ones, it's just been like, us speaking. And well, we talked about what we're going to talk about, Oh, yeah. So I have a very special guest. This is William Shrike. Introduce yourself. Tell them who you are.
All right. Yeah. So my name is William Matthey, or my stage name is William Shrike. I am a 19-year-old musician, producer, and scare actor at Escapade Games. Our flagship game, s1e3 Reborn, is one of my favorite games to act in. I play the character Uncle Robert and sometimes Joseph. But I just moved out here for college from upstate New York. So it's good to be, getting around and meeting people and getting into the scene, especially. So
yeah, this is the motherfucker that terrorized us. Bro, you grabbed my leg in the tunnel part, and that shit, I literally was like, are you gonna pull me away? And I was like, is he about to pull me through this damn tunnel? Like, and my girlfriend was next to me, and you just didn't give a fuck about her. You're just screaming at me. I was like, damn.
It's so funny because in there, I literally can't see anything. So, I will just grab, and as soon as I get somebody's leg, I'm like, I'm not letting you go now. Like, I got you.
That's what
I got kicked in the face last night in the tunnel.
Seriously?
Yeah, so I go in and I'm chasing this girl, and she's screaming, and I grab her by the shoe. I was trying to take her shoe, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Because we do that. And
you do that. I thought you were about to do that.
I grabbed her by the leg, and she kicked. And obviously, it wasn't her fault. All right. I can't blame her for this. It wasn't aggressive, but I got straight in the nose. Oh. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna let it go. I limp back out, and I go in, and I'm checking underneath all the fake blood I have on my face, mind you, because I'm, my makeup and stuff. And I'm trying to check, is there actually any real blood in there?
Oh, man.
I was fine. But
damn, right in the fucking nose?
Dude, yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I guess it was a little to the side, so my cheekbone, I guess. But
okay,
you get that
dude,
fuzzy
in the
feeling.
face, yeah, it's like
you
that.
get that fuzzy feeling. Yeah.
Oh hell no. Anyways, yeah. So s1e3 Reborn's pretty fucking intense. We're all horror fans. So before we went, I wasn't really scared because I'm I don't know. I just don't really get scared by horror thing. I don't know. It's just been a long time. I've been going to Scary Farm since I was 14. So
damn,
it's
okay. So
it's
you're a veteran.
I love it. Yeah. Yeah. So, but she was, you were kind of scared. Camera woman behind the camera. She's shaking her head no, but you were a little nervous, bro. You know what? I'm going to tell you, she was peeking through the fucking blindfolds, bro. She was cheating, man. She was cheating. And then our other roommate, she was absolutely terrified. Genuinely was I might bitch out.
Oh my gosh.
And then my bandmate, he was trying to put on a tough facade, and everyone was scared even a little bit. And I was even when you brought us in one by one, which I'm sure it was multiple of you bringing us in. I was low key oh shit, it's kind of real. Fuck. Yeah. I haven't felt real terror like that until the last time I felt terror like that was probably when I was 15 going to Scary Farm.
Right.
So I was
yeah, that's the main thing we try to do at s1e3 Reborn is, there's other places that kind of rely more on actual physical harm to scare people. I don't want to drop names. I don't know if that's okay, but you can. So 17th, 17th door, fucking McCamey Manor, and Murder Co. They're great places. They put so much production and effort into those, especially 17th door. We all at Escapade love 17th door.
Yeah, I was about to say, have you been?
I'm genuinely too terrified to go.
Really?
I honestly hate horror. I get so scared so easily. Spiders freak me the fuck out.
Oh yeah,
I can't do spiders.
Got so many bugs too.
So they did, when I was considering going, and then as soon as I heard they put spiders on you, I was like, no, I will not go.
The thing we haven't been to 17th door, but we're gonna go this year. We tried going last year, but it just didn't work out. The difference between Escapade Games and them is 17th door, you can mercy out of every single room because you're going through 17 rooms, and I was like. So if you're not if you're too scared, you can just I'm skipping this room and then you do the next. But your guys is it's you're done for the whole thing.
Yeah.
So that makes it so much scarier because you're it's $70 something and you're I'm gonna lose my money, and then it's I gotta do this thing, and so you're kind of forced to stay in it.
Well, and that's the thing, as what I was saying, we rely, we have the tasers, we do physical contact, but it's more of you don't know when we're coming in, you don't know how we're gonna come in, you don't know when the scares are gonna happen, and it's kind of this sense of just it's almost scarier when we're not in the room, I would say, than when we are.
I completely agree.
We kind of try to create this sense of like supernatural horror, and like you kind of start psyching yourself out, you know? And it's not like it's completely dark in the rooms all the times. You know, there are lights and stuff, but it's just enough light where there are so many shadows.
It
You're
gets
like,
pitch black in there,
dude.
though.
Yeah, it does literally in some
gets
parts.
completely,
Yeah.
Like, I remember after that first room when you go into her bedroom.
Yes.
Like, you guys shut off. It was completely, and we didn't even know that the other girl, I don't know her real life name, but the girl who was playing Zoe at the time.
I think it was Clover.
Okay,
I'm
yeah,
not sure,
she was in the. We were watching the highlight reel back.
Yeah,
I didn't even know she was in there.
Yes,
like I had no clue, and I'm like, how? That's my first question. How the hell do you guys not accidentally like? Do you have earpieces in to kind of?
Yes.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, there's no way they.
So we do have earpieces in, and so the game master, the guy who's talking to you guys,
he can see what's going on.
He can see what's going on, so he'll tell us. We know the rooms well enough where I could walk through there blindfolded.
Yeah, right. Yeah, for sure.
And you kind of have to because we don't have night vision.
Yeah.
But a lot of the times it'll be like, all right, there's like 3 people right at your feet, or like they're all by the dresser. And I'm like, okay, I know where the dresser is, you know? But dude, I can't tell you the amount of times I've stepped on people's legs. I've tripped over people and had to play it off. Dude, it's kind of a nightmare, especially in bedroom, because everybody is like crowded in a small room.
Yeah, it's tiny. My bandmate, like when I don't know if it was you that like went through the window, like once you like open up the window part and you have to like look for the
Did they go all the way through the window?
He like looked through.
Oh yeah,
I think so.
Me.
Yeah,
that was me. Yeah.
And when you came out, he sprinted into the bed frame. Bro, he has the biggest fucking bruise on his leg. Like it's so crammed in there. That's why I'm like, y'all must be getting hurt too. Like there's no way.
We call that the mark of Zoe. If you get hurt in there, if you come out with a bruise, a scratch, or a scar,
we all
that's
had
the mark
bruises,
of Zoe.
bro. We all did.
Yeah.
Like, but that's what makes it more fun to me personally.
Oh
But
yeah.
anyways, yeah. So I guess we can get into some hard-hitting questions. So the first thing, you kind of referenced it before we started, but how did you like get into start working at Zoe's? Like, how did you know you wanted to do that? Like, was it by chance? Was it planned?
Yeah, so it was really by chance. I'm not gonna lie. So when I first moved out here in August, I was kind of doing random jobs for random people, helping people move or helping people mow their lawn or whatever. And then I was scrolling. I got bored of scrolling TikTok. Because my attention span, even for TikTok, is terrible.
Same, me too.
And so I literally started scrolling on Indeed. Like, there's like, I wonder what jobs are out there, you know? And so I found that one, and I for some reason, I think I thought it was a haunted house. It said like haunted escape room or something. So I'm like, oh, it's a haunted house, you know?
Yeah.
And so I went in, I applied for it, just kind of out of the blue, and they texted me back on Instagram. And I was like, what the heck? Okay.
Oh, shit.
So I went in for an interview, and at first, there was like no one there because it's kind of in like it's in like back of a parking lot, and you're like, I thought I was gonna get like attacked. I'm like,
it's next to Moe's, right?
Yeah, next to Moe's Music, and I was like, what the heck is going on? Like, what's gonna happen? And then Christina comes up, and Christina, one of the owners, she's like the nicest lady ever, and I was like, oh, okay, like this isn't that bad. We walk in, and I was like, oh, what the fuck? Like, what is this place? We go through the audition process, and she has me like do this cold read. So they give us a script for the Uncle Robert character, and or whatever character you're auditioning for, and then she had me read it out. So like first time seeing it, I had to, read it in the character. And so I did. Then she's like, oh, you're hired. And I was like,
damn.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Sweet.
Okay.
I was thinking I had to call back or whatever. And then somebody came up behind me and grabs my hands and puts them behind my back. And I was like, oh no. And I'm like, what is going to go on? She's like, it's okay. We do this to all of our new employees. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to get hazed, And so I'm thinking like, okay, how bad can this be? Whatever. We go into the chop shop where the electric chair is. And during Halloween, we have what's called purgatory mode. It's obligatory purgatory mode. You can only have that mode. And that mode, we turn the electric chair on. So
that's what I've seen.
We have handcuffs that we switch out for the Velcro, hand wraps, and those have electrical diodes in them.
Oh my fuck!
On the other side, there's like a wire, and if you touch the ring to the wire, if your friends touch the ring to the wire, it shocks the person in the chair. Oh well, she goes, "Have you ever been shocked before?" And I'm sitting there in the handcuffs, like, and I'm like,
"Wait, you didn't know?" They just like started doing.
Yeah, and so they sit me down. And she's like, "Have you ever been shocked before?" And I was like, I mean, yeah, like I've been shocked." She's like, oh, okay, then this won't hurt a bit. Drops the ring on the wire. And I was like, oh, and you know, like when you're getting like shocked with a higher voltage of electricity, you like start to like curl up. So I'm like curled over in a ball on this chair.
Oh my
and
fucking.
I still have some of the scars, I think, on my wrist. I can't see. Oh yeah, I can see a couple of them right now, but like from where the diodes were. And
it's
so that was
strong.
my, yeah, dude, I've seen full ass men walk out of there with blisters on their wrists because their friends are too dumb to realize that, it's like when I touch the ring to the wire, it shocks the person in the chair and like the lights start flashing and there's like a sound over the loudspeakers.
My God.
It's crazy.
Wow. So be thankful that she was in the chair and be thankful that wasn't purgatory mode, bro.
Yeah. That's why it says they depend on you. Is because you have to get the ring across the wire without shocking them. And then once you got the ring across the wire, you would get the key. But now it's just like you have to reach into the sink. And
so they just fucking hazed you, basically.
Yeah. No, and they kept doing it. Like I think I got hazed for a solid, I want to say 4 months. Like they would throw me in their room alone and make me play the game alone. And then a couple of the times, I actually just, like they would just like be like, hey, we're all like, I had to wear a shock collar. I had to like do those muscle relaxing pads that they put on you.
I've done those.
Did that. We have a cattle prod. I have not gotten shocked by the cattle prod. Thank God.
Holy shit. That's gnarly.
Dude.
That's like, that'll put you on the floor.
No, seriously, it will. So yeah, that's kind of
damn
fun time.
Holy shit. Yeah. Wow. What the fuck? That is insane. Blister. Wow. Well, that, I mean, sounds fun. Is it worth it though? You think it was worth it?
Oh yeah. I mean, I'll call it a family, because at Escapade we're all so close, especially like the actors, and then the way that our owners Jordan and Christina interact with us is very, very family like.
For sure.
And it creates an environment where we all want to be there. On days off, we'll go and just hang out.
Right,
We'll go and act even if we don't get paid for it.
Right. Yeah.
It's just fun. We love hanging out together. We do a ton of extracurriculars with each other. It really is like a family. So, and because I'm so far away from my family, they all live in New York. It's amazing to have that kind of connection.
Yeah, that's great.
So
yeah, for sure. Well, yeah, I guess the next thing that, like, when you're clocking in, do you do anything to get in character, or do you just like shut your brain off?
I will listen to music. Like, I listen to music constantly. Mostly recently, I've been listening to a mixture of like deathcore, which is my favorite genre, I'd say. I've been really, really loving Whitechapel's new stuff. Their music is incredible. But I'll also listen to like Tool. Freaking love Tool, dude. And then I also listen to a lot of like blues. Like, you ever heard of like Delta blues?
Yeah.
It's a genre. So like Sunhouse is one of my favorites. So I'll listen to Sunhouse too, just to kind of like get me in a gritty kind of mood. But I mean, I'm not really necessarily a method actor. Right. I just kind of go in and get into character, act, and then as soon as I walk back from a scare, I'm myself again.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I remember when we ended and then you just walked through the door, just some normal ass dude.
Yep.
Motherfucker. It's like scared the shit out of us. Yeah, well, you already said you also, the next thing I was going to ask is, do you play any other characters? And you said you do Joseph sometimes too?
Yeah.
Who's Joseph?
So, the Grobel family is Joseph, Maria, Robert, and Zoe. So Joseph and Maria are husband and wife. Zoe is their daughter, and then Robert is Joseph's brother.
Okay.
So we'll do full family games by request. So you pay an extra fee to get a full family mode, and with the full family mode also comes purgatory mode. So
you have to do purgatory with the full family.
If you get full family, you got to do purgatory. So essentially, full family mode and purgatory mode. Purgatory mode basically consists of, we go way harder on you guys. We do a lot more stuff. Like last purgatory game we did, we handcuffed a guy to the piano and left him there for like a solid 15 minutes while his friend had to find the key.
Dude, we gotta do that shit, man. Come on.
We'll feed, one of the, I did a scare where the guy came back and he had to get the pieces from me. And I was like, I usually, my thing is like, tell me a sin, right? Yeah. And so I'm like, give me, I was like, give me a secret, a sin. And he goes, no. And like, he didn't speak very good English, but he was like, no sin. And he goes like, haram, he was Muslim, I'm pretty sure. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I'm like, I'm like, I know this guy's got something. Everybody has something. Come on. Nobody is without blame, right? And so I'm like, you're gonna talk. So I grab the back of his head and I put a beetle in his mouth. And I'm like, chew! I'm like screaming at this guy. I'm like, maybe this will make you talk. Anyway, he ended up saying something. And, well, yeah, we'll feed people bugs and stuff too. So.
I was gonna, do people actually ever confess some like shit that you've ever been like, whoa, hold on?
Yes. Actually, yeah. We get, I mean, when people are scared, especially in there, they'll say crazy stuff. Like my favorite story that I have was this one guy comes in, and it was the first time I had ever eaten the bugs. Because anything we do to you guys, we have to get done to ourselves.
Right, for sure. Fair.
So, yeah, fair. So I had to eat bugs. And they were like, I hadn't eaten the bugs yet. We're in purgatory mode. And I'm like, okay, I got to eat them before I feed this guy bugs. And so he comes back, sits down. We had a table at the time. So he sits down like across from me, like where you are. Yeah. And I had a whole plate full of mealworms in front of me. And he sits down, and I just grab a handful of them, put them in my mouth, and start like chewing. Right. And he's like, oh, what the fuck? And I'm like, eat! So I scream at the guy, and the mealworms go all over him.
That was the first time you ate bugs too?
Yeah. All over him, all over the table. And anyway, the guy ended up saying that, you know, when he was, I think 5, he fed his dog grapes, and the dog choked and died. And he blamed it on his 4-year-old brother. And to this day, mind you, this guy said he was like 32. He still has not told his parents or his brother.
But you know.
But I know, you know? And so that was like, and people have told me like, oh, they used to be friends with pedophile. One guy said he was a friend with a pedophile and then blackmailed him for like thousands of dollars.
Dude, what? The people are just admitting to crimes.
Yes, people admit to tax fraud, getting in fender benders, and like hit and runs.
Dude,
it's crazy.
When we were, because I've seen parts of it on YouTube, and like before we went, we were like, fuck, if we have to go back for those pieces, like, what the fuck are we gonna say? Because like, none of us kind of knew what we were gonna say. So I don't know. I don't even remember what Connor said. He said something. He said something silly. The really tall. I doubt you remember.
Curly hair.
White guy, really tall white guy. He went back for the pieces from you into the chapel.
Yeah, okay, I remember what he said. I don't reveal the secrets.
That's fair.
Only by no name, but yeah.
Anyways, let's see. Let's get another interesting one. I kind of answered that. Oh yeah, do you ever feel bad for people? Like, are you ever like, fuck, I went too hard?
Not fuck, I went too hard, but I feel bad that they're even here. So
for sure. Yeah.
I had a group the other night. We had a group the other night come in, and I grabbed someone to bring back for body bag.
For sure.
And this woman genuinely started pleading for her life. Like, I kid you not, pleading for her life, like crying, grabbing at me. And I've never had that before. I've had like people cry at me, and I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like, you know, especially if it's a dude, I'm like, come on, bro, get up, man up, get in the bag. But I've never had somebody like beg me to not do it.
Like genuinely
and it
terrified.
Actually messed me up for a little bit. I was like, do I like keep, like, she didn't tap out? Like, what do I do?
Yeah.
And yeah, like it was bad, but we ended up getting it in the bag. And afterwards I like genuinely apologized to her. Cause I was like, it fucked me up for a little bit. I was like, oh my God, I just literally had someone beg me to spare their life.
We're giving people
and I was
trauma.
I was like, oh my gosh. So I sometimes I'll feel bad, but most of the time people pay there and they have fun to be, you know, they have fun there. They pay to be there. They know what they're getting into. And so really it's about putting on the best performance and scaring them as much as possible while keeping that line between scaring and actually being just torturous, you know, because we want, it's almost, you know, it's like a production. It's a whole show, you know, so we want to tread that line between having the show portion of it where people will actually enjoy it. It's like they're in a horror movie, but not torturing
not
them.
McKamey Manor shit.
Exactly.
It's just basically illegal. Yeah, for sure.
So yeah.
I mean, I think like when we were there, like, because our friend was so fucking scared, we were like, it's supposed to be like, you're supposed to leave feeling like, holy shit, I'm glad I did that, you know?
Yes.
Then
or
else no one would fucking come back, or like you know, it's like you're not trying to fuck people up, like, genuinely. Although it does sound like you are in purgatory mode. But when we did it, like, I remember in the first room, I think there was 3 people at the time, just for that first like entrance when you guys first do the thing. And then it was just you for the rest of it. And we were like, fuck, low key would have been down to pay for like multiple people because that is just such a difference. Like when it was just you and then Clover, you said her name. When it was you and her, it was like, oh, I know there's two people because Connor's going back and like getting the painting puzzle done. We're like, you have to go alone and shit. And then there's definitely someone in our room, so it was really scary because it's like, oh shit, like he doesn't have everyone near him. Right. But then after that, it was just you, and it was still really fucking scary. Just you. But like we were like, damn, if there were just hella people constantly, you would literally be constantly like shitting yourself. Yeah.
We've had that before, but also one thing that happens when you have a lot of people is you actually get desensitized to it. Right, so we've had that before where like if you tase someone too much or if you drag someone too much, they actually kind of just stop caring. Yeah, so for sure. Yeah. We again, like it's treading a very fine line, and that's where like a lot of the skill as like for my owners, like Jordan and Christina, and then us even as actors and like our shift leads, really like taking each group by group and saying like, okay, what is the best way that we can give these people the best time possible, keep them as scared as possible, right? And then also not just make them be like, oh my god, here they come again, right? You know? Like like in video games that happens where like you're just kind of like, fuck, I'm not trying to run away from this guy anymore. I know, exactly.
Like, so I get that. Yeah, do the owners ever get in on the scares? Do they ever play characters or no?
Joran, not so much. He doesn't like acting, as far as I know. The couple times he likes the building, dude. He's so good at it too. Christina does get in as Zoe sometimes, and trust me, you do not want her as Zoe because she will actually fuck you up.
Oh god, dude, she seems so nice.
She will mess you up. She's evil, dude. She is evil.
They are made for each other. Clearly.
No, for real. I mean, it was pretty crazy. So yeah, they do sometimes.
Yeah, no, she seemed really nice. I saw her like Instagram. Her Instagram was private, but I saw the profile picture. I was like, this is the lady that like is married to the other guy.
The queen of extreme.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit. I was like, damn, what the hell? Yeah, after we were done, we were like, man, we could have done it more intense. But like, I don't know, it's hard to go more intense without just like going into like purgatory mode or something. But I feel like we could have done extreme at least.
Did you guys do normal?
We did normal. I didn't want to do normal.
Got it. Okay.
Me and you kind of wanted to do extreme, I think. No, you didn't? Oh, it's me and someone else. I think it might have been Connor. Wanted to do extreme, but then everyone else was like, no. And I was like, guys, like, I don't think it hurts that bad to get tased. So no way to where it ruins it at least.
Yeah, no.
Obviously, it's very scary and it hurts, but like you said, if you fucking tase me like 10 times and be like, okay, just stop tasing me.
Right,
like,
no, exactly.
I'm going to get annoyed. So it's like.
Exactly.
So I was like, I feel like they're not, like, it's fine, but I don't know. We wanted to do it. I think we'll do it eventually, though. We have to.
100%.
Look, bro, she's shitting herself right
now. And you guys can always come back for the saboteur mode. And you get actually, so I think it's up to, I want to say 4 people.
Really?
Can get $40 tickets.
Okay.
Only 2 people can be saboteurs though.
For sure.
So 4 people can get in for the saboteur ticket price.
That's great.
2 people can be saboteurs.
So and how does that's what I was going to ask next is how does that work necessarily? Because I know
the saboteur mode.
Yeah, I know you're. Is it Jorn?
Jorn, yeah.
Yeah, I remember he was kind of talking to me about it, but like it was very vague, like because we had to go into the. So it was like
So the saboteur mode basically, you're gonna message us beforehand. And you can either pretend like you've never been through the game or be like, I forgot, the game or whatever. Be like,
changed.
Like I was changed. Yeah, it changed. Whatever. Lie to your friends. We don't care. Whatever to get them in. No, I'm just kidding. And so you'll message us beforehand with a picture of you and at what point you want to be taken out. And so when you message us that, we'll have the picture of you so we know who you are, and then we'll know what scare to take you out in. And basically, we ask you that you scream as loud as possible when we drag you out, like you're dying. Like, whatever. Yeah, exactly. And then we'll bring you back into the office. We'll put a costume on you, and we'll hand you a taser, and we'll be like, all right, don't use the taser on anybody. Wink, wink. No. So, man,
if y'all give me a taser, I would be fucking you up, dude. Sorry.
No, so, you can't, so we go in and then you just kind of join us for the rest of the scares. And then at the very end, we bring you up on the stage and we like pretend to slit your throat and stuff.
Damn, that's sick. Bro, we have to do that, actually. Who can we get? We got to get someone. The camera just died? Okay, that's okay. It's okay because we're gonna take a break right now, anyways.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna take a break and then we'll come back and I want to talk to you about your music.
Absolutely.
Stuff. So yeah, we'll be right back. Hello, and we are back. We're not gonna talk about s1e Reborn anymore. I'm sorry if you came for that, but we're gonna talk about something just as cool. Tell us just, I guess, a little bit. First off, just your music in general, just some fun little facts or just what you like, what you don't like.
I basically can make or write any genre. If you show me a song first, I could probably make something exactly like it. But the only genres that I won't do are contemporary Christian music. even though, so I am very religious. I'm a traditional Catholic.
Okay.
But, dude, come on. I can't do contemporary Christian music. I think my mom called it Jesus is my boyfriend music. And I've never heard a more accurate description of what that music sounds like to me. And
I can't listen to shit like that either.
I can't.
And
then I'm not a big fan of like modern country, even though, so like I love, like I write blues, like grungy country, grungy blues.
You don't fuck with Zach Bryan.
Like I like him as a person. He's really cool, and I see where he's going with his music, and his lyrics are really, really good. But I feel like, for his audience is perfect. True. Like as much as I hate to say it, just like Taylor Swift, like I can't hate on her for anything other than her fans. Like genuinely, people who stand over Zach Bryan or Taylor Swift, I just can't with them.
Same breed, different walk of life.
Exactly.
Like literally, yeah.
Exactly.
I'm a D1 hater when it comes to like certain art. Like I low key hate Zach Bryan, and I also low key hate Taylor Swift. Yeah. So it's like I don't make that shit at all. I don't even listen to it. Modern country is like rough for me.
It is, and because they took the whole point of country music. When it first started it was supposed to be rough. It was rough around the edges. It was gritty. It was real. And, they would talk about things, especially back in like the 40s and 50s with like Hank Williams. They would talk about things that would otherwise be in a very like sophisticated sense, like love or taking a girl out to dinner. But they would talk about it in a very like laid back, like small town way. And I grew up in a small town. Like I worked a couple years on a dairy farm.
Shit.
And so like I was there, I saw it, and I listened to these artists like Morgan Wallen or Taylor Swift or whatever, and I'm just like, you're not exemplifying. It's so separate. Like it's
like kind of how like punk music kind of shifted like that too, kind of like sometimes where it's like. They start talking about shit that's like, bro, how are you talking about pro-government right now?
No, exactly.
Punk band, like,
exactly.
What are you talking about? Like, what the fuck? And country, even then in the beginning, was kind of like anti-government, or at least like anti a lot of things that
it's very anti. It's very anti-big government. It's very libertarian, which I agree with. It's like I want they want very little outside influence and outside pressure from a larger government on them. And I 100% agree with that, and so, just those guys kind of stray away from like the newer generation of country artists kind of stray away from that. I do love Chris Stapleton. He's one of my favorites. And there are a couple other artists that I really appreciate right now, but, so just like the modern country, like pop country especially, and then contemporary Christian music. I cannot listen to
pop country is rough for me. Yeah, that's probably one of my least favorite like genres. 100%. And I can enjoy pop, but like Jesus, if you start fucking talking about pop country, I'm like, holy hell, this is horrible. It's like I walk into an H&M or something. Like,
no, seriously,
I can't do it. But yeah, anyways, so I guess like. What bands are you doing right now? I know you got your solo stuff, and then you were just talking to me about your other one. So you want to talk about that?
So I have William Shrike, which is my solo project. I have music out everywhere, and I actually have a show coming up on March 6th at Harvard and Stone in LA. I also have the Third Eye Protocol, which is a I would say modern metal band. And then I am also in the works of writing and producing with another band that we started called Kill Cage. And that's more of a beatdown, kind of Whitechapel-esque beatdown deathcore band.
Cool. Yeah, sick. Yeah, what is your... I mean, those three are all very different. Like, what's your writing process for each of them? Or does it feel the same?
Really, it's about, what I'm writing about. for me, lyrics are extremely important in music.
Right.
I think lyrics are the most important. Like, I'll listen to somebody playing the same 3 chords on the guitar if their lyrics are really good.
Right. Yeah,
really
for sure.
deep,
For sure.
You know, and so really, it's whatever the lyrics come out as. You know, if they're very, very. I think it's just whatever the lyrics come out as. Whatever feeling I'm getting from my lyrics, because I'll almost always start with lyrics.
No, I'm like that too.
So,
I do the like there's like the scatting method, like even just to figure out like the lyrical melody.
Yes. Yeah,
like
yeah.
I'll just like say gibberish for like 2 hours and then I just like form that first and then I kind of cater then the melody. I change it around a bit and stuff like for that.
Yeah.
So lyrics for me are also the same.
Yeah.
It's the most important thing. I would say lyrics and then drums for my stuff. Like for other types of genres, like lyrics are always usually the most important thing, but like at least for the stuff I make, like the drums gotta be crazy too, you know? Like
100%.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. So I guess for your solo stuff, like what's your top, not even top 3, your top inspiration? Like if you had to pick one, which I know your Spotify's kind of diverse.
Bob Dylan.
I have his poetry notebook.
Dude, Bob Dylan is my idol. Like, genuinely.
See the movie?
I have not yet.
Oh, what the fuck?
No, hear me
Poser.
out. I'm actually really scared to see it.
Really?
I've heard mixed reviews about it,
But he said it was good though.
Bob Dylan?
Yeah, he's like, it
Okay.
was freaky watching a portrayal that accurate.
Then I'm
or
gonna
something
have
like
to watch
that.
it because I do like Timothy Chalamet.
Timothy
Honestly,
Chalamet's great,
Like,
yeah.
watching him in Dune was because I love Dune. I'm a huge sci-fi
Right,
nerd.
yeah.
Dude, Dune was fantastic. I love Timothy Chalamet, and I was genuinely so scared that
Hell
this
yeah.
movie was not going to be good. And so I do have to go watch it, but I have not.
Dude, yeah,
yet.
Bob Dylan literally was like, it was freaky or
Okay.
like something
Okay,
like
so
that.
then I'm gonna have to
yeah.
watch it.
No,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and like his singing is like good, like from the
Yeah.
clips I've seen,
No,
like
no,
he's
no,
like actually
100%,
doing it,
yeah.
yeah. And they have a Johnny Cash cameo in it.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So
we're
it's like-
watching that.
yeah,
We're watching that because Johnny Cash is another big
Yeah, cool.
inspiration of
Okay,
mine.
then what about what was it? Third Eye
Protocol?
Third Eye Protocol. Yeah.
So Third Eye Protocol is kind of a mesh of me and my friend Diego, who's the bassist in the band. We love Sleep Token, and mostly the thing about Sleep Token we love is the lore and the storyline. And so we wanted to make a band with that same kind of aesthetic,
For sure.
with like the lore and the fantasy kind of around it. And so, yeah, we started this. It's very inspired by, I would say, bands like Meshuggah, Mastodon, Gojira, and like Periphery, Veil of
Oh,
Maya.
hell yeah. Yeah. Sick.
So
Cool. Yeah. And then I guess for your last one, what would you say?
Kill
Top?
Cage?
Yeah.
the top 3 bands that we all love are Whitechapel, Paleface Swiss,
Cool.
and for the last one, probably Kublai Khan. Probably Kublai Khan, yeah.
Ant Pal 2, bro.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
hell yeah, dude. That new record was so good.
Dude, it was so good.
My bandmate is, bro, he does not shut up about Kublai Khan. Like, we'll be in the car and he's like, let me play this shit.
Kublai Khan is one of those bands where they can literally do the exact same thing in every album, and it sounds so good.
Dude, it's so
I'm
good,
like,
bro.
What is this? It's
And
so good.
The singer, oh fuck, what's his name? I forgot his name. But the singer, like, he's like this huge tough guy, but he's like the nicest dude in person.
That's how it always is.
That's how it
with
always
metal.
is. Yeah, dude, that band is fucking great.
I remember when I went to my first metal show, it was Mastodon, Lorna Shore, and Gojira on their Mega Monsters tour. And my
Goddamn,
mom was
that's
like,
stacked.
she's like, aren't you scared? Because my parents are very, they're very
My
Catholic.
parents are
they
like
don't,
that
they
too.
don't know metal.
Yeah.
And they were like, aren't you scared? I'm like, Mom, I feel safer going to this than I do going to a Taylor Swift concert. Like genuinely.
Bro, you bump into someone at a Taylor Swift concert, you're getting your ass beat.
No, for
They'll
real.
tear you
I'm gonna get my
apart.
ass beat by like a 15-year-old white girl, and it will be the worst ass kicking I've ever
Yeah, she
received in my
will
life.
kill you, bro.
Dude,
They're ruthless. We talked shit on Taylor Swift in like our first episode, and they were all like, "Fuck!" Like I'm actually kind of scared. I don't know if you can post it because like they're just so fucking.
They will
ruthless.
hunt you down. They will ruin your life.
Yeah, they will literally kill your ass,
And
bro.
mentally and emotionally manipulate
Dude,
you.
oh man, that shit's fucking hilarious. Anyways, yeah, I guess like, what's your music like process? Like when you go to create a song, because I know it's really different for everyone. Like for me, when I do a song, I always do the like tempo first, like just how fast do I want it, and then I do the drums, and then I kind of build off of that, and then I do lyrics last. But lyrics are still the most important to me. What is your process like, or does it change throughout 3 bands? Or?
sometimes changes. Like if someone comes up to me, like one of my band members says, "Hey, I have this killer riff." I'm like, "Okay." But if they put me in charge of writing a song, I would come up with my lyrics and then a rhythm for the lyrics. So like just like as if I was going to rap them or something.
Yeah, for sure.
And then after that, I would create, find the tempo of my rhythm. Like you said, set the speed of the song, and then I would start with riffs and drums, like the intro to the song, and then I kind of just keep building. I'm not like, oh, this is my chorus, I'm gonna write everything else around that, or this is my like one. Like I kind of go sequentially. Right. So I start with a riff, then verse, then bridge, then chorus. Breakdown, stuff like that.
Classic progression
exactly.
to that thing. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, cool. Okay. Oh yeah, I was gonna ask this. William Shrike, is that like a stage name or is that your actual last name?
So Shrike is a stage name, yeah.
Okay, that's
my
what
last name is Matthew. And so when I started writing music, especially where I was from in a small town, everybody knew who I was, and I knew everybody.
It was a small town in New York?
Yes. Okay. So I lived in Cortland, New York.
Oh shit! Yeah. I know where that is. Yeah. Yeah. My mom's been there.
No way. Okay. Yeah. So there's like 1,200 people in that town. Everybody knows everybody, and it was terrible. I love all my friends, but I had, obviously you live in a place long enough and you make mistakes, but you grow from those. But the problem is, one thing that I was thinking about is like, when you make mistakes around people, obviously they forgive you and you kind of move on, but everything that you do also impacts them, you know? And so you see kind of your past mistakes in other people.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I was like, when I start, and they all knew me. I'm very outspoken, like an open book, Yeah, and so it was like, I had to kind of separate myself from that in an artistic sense. And so when I found, I was like, I love the songbird, the shrike, because so it's a bird, and it can also, what it does is it catches its prey and will spear it on thorns to save it for later. Oh shit! And that's metal as fuck. God damn, yeah, so I was like, that kind of that's a cool
evil ass bird.
Yeah, no, exactly. And so it's a kind of a cool, it's a cool dichotomy where it's a beautiful bird and then also is metal as hell.
At the same time. Like, yeah,
that
for
kind
sure.
Of
that
explains me very well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so, that's sick. Damn. Yeah, I don't got lore like that, man. My stage name, I don't even have a stage name. I just use my middle name instead of my last name. But that's because my last name's corny as fuck. It's Wadley. Like, it's just like, my name's Wadley. Like, that's what it feels like when I'm saying people. But then my middle name's Estes, so it's like Evan Estes. It just sounds.
Yeah, that flows. Yeah. I think the biggest thing about being in a band is, you also have to cater to the marketing aspect of it.
Yeah, for sure.
You got to have a marketable name.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, because I checked out your Instagram. Like, how, like, do you like posting up reels and stuff? Like, I know that, like, as someone who's also like a small band, but I never like promo my shit like that. Like, how, like, does that help you out, or do you, or are you like, fuck, I wish I didn't have to do this, or do you like doing it? It is.
I wish I didn't have to do this because I find it corny as hell. Like, honestly,
right?
But in this day and age where so many people are on social media and nobody, like, if you post a flyer out on the street, 3 out of, I would say, 15 people would even like give it a second glance.
For sure.
But if you're on Instagram and you make yourself a corny, catchy reel, that's like 1.2. Like thousands of people, and I think you get a lot more reach that way, especially if you're releasing your stuff into digital, like Spotify or Apple Music or whatever, which I do. And so, I make reels pretty much every day, promote my music. Like for this, for the show, like I would recommend like taking cool clips, taking funny clips, taking hot takes.
Right, and just
for
sure.
Those,
yeah, for sure, on like TikTok or some shit. We'll probably start doing that.
I guarantee you people would start
following for sure. I mean, like for us, like for all my projects, I'm in like 3 bands. Like I have my own with my bandmate who you met at s1e3.
Yep.
And then I have my solo stuff, which is like pure jungle breakcore stuff, and I'm gonna start DJing for that too. And then I have this third one with her called Poolside Curiosity, and that's like a post-rock shoegaze band. And we don't promo like any for shit. The Hart, oddly enough, like for Poolside and Fish Farm, those are so small, like in the early not even a year pretty much. Well, now it would be a year, but like we've only played 1 show. Like we don't really make stuff because I put so much into the Hart, but like we purely rely on like shows, like to like get our word out, like, and it works. Like, I mean, and then we kind of rely on like connections too. Like I meet a lot of people. I'm a part of Subculture Music Club at Cal State Fullerton.
Okay.
So like and I'm on the board for that. So
that sounds like a sick ass club.
yeah, that's what. So we have a show March 14th.
Yeah.
Next. It's almost this month now.
Yep.
So yeah, that's a part of that club.
Okay,
and
sick.
we get all these bands. We have I don't know if you know who Samo Diva is playing. She's a LA thrash band. We got like, and then a bunch of other like smaller bands.
Nice.
So it's like those shows have been like helping me a lot. So
I bet. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like I'll probably start promoting more, but it's just like
highly recommend.
It's hard because I try to curate like the band Instagram like so specifically, so it like looks a certain way. Like I really care about how things like look and feel. So it's like I'm scared that if I start posting reels, it will like I don't know. Maybe I could do it in a way that like works with the rest of my stuff.
You can. There's an artistic touch that goes into it. So.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I asked that one. I guess we can go into. We can go into some of my viewers have asked. I have a few, only a few. And then I guess Ella, if you have any, you can hop in. You can hop in if you have any. Anyways, this is a s1e3 Reborn question. Have you ever made people like genuinely just like sob, like cry?
Yes. Yeah. Like I was saying, that lady earlier that I was talking about, she was again. It genuinely messed me up for the entire night. I've never had somebody beg me for their life.
Do you have shifts after that too, and you had to like do new groups? Oh,
yes.
Fuck. Do you think it made you go less hard?
No, I was just kind of like I would walk out and I would be like glassy eyed. I'd be like, "What the hell? Like, what the hell happened?" You know, like so like that was crazy. There was this one guy that came through and he came in for the negotiations, and I was like, "Kneel when you're talking to a god," some shit like that. And the guy like got down on his hands and knees, started like fucking blubbering, like drooling, crying. And I was like,
fuck. Dude, that's gotta feel crazy. Does that make you feel like goddamn powerful or some shit sometimes? Like, or your coworkers, have they ever felt like, damn, I'm the shit right now. I'm making this like big ass dude cry.
Definitely. I think the crying, like when they're like actually terrified,
that
almost makes me feel bad.
Yeah, of course.
When people are scared and they're having a good time,
then
I feel
more
like,
for that. Yeah, you're like,
I'm
hell
excited to go in, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I've definitely had people cry.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. Okay. Do you guys have like a pre-show routine, like not a pre-show routine, like a warm up? Like, do you guys warm up before? Do you guys like do a pre-show ritual, like hands in, hands out? Like,
no. We kind of go in, call each other some names and stuff, make some jokes, and then
you just send it.
Send it, yeah.
Do that first.
Every game. I mean, we'll talk about, most of our planning is done in game. We'll be like, all right, you want to go do this scare? I'll go in. Like for a lot of the, for like one of the bedroom scares, we'll be like, all right, you go into this place, and I'll do the scare, and then you jump out or whatever.
Right.
So yeah, I think there's not really a pre-game. There's no pre-game ritual, I would say.
Sure. Yeah, I guess, and it's so back to back. And then I had my own personal question I wanted to ask again. When we were in there, like, are two groups in there at once? Do you stagger it like that?
Sometimes,
if you can, right? Like, because I know we were taking, bro, we could not. Those puzzles are hard as fuck, dude. What the fuck? And you said you did that by yourself. You've been putting there by yourself?
Only through a couple of rooms. I've never played the entire game by myself. I've played the entire game with other people, like as a hazing for all of us new hires.
Oh, okay, cool.
But I've done a couple of the rooms myself, and yeah, the puzzles
shits are hard.
The puzzles are difficult. That is true.
We were stuck on the fucking. We could not figure out the one with the electric chair, like, at all. Because there were like multiple things on the wall, like with the numbers and the arrows, and like I understood there was something with those. Yeah. But then there was like that like spice rack looking thing, and I was like, is this a part of it? Like that was a part of it.
Yeah, it is a part of it. I don't want to say too much, so nobody gets
don't
the
spoil.
Puzzles,
but yeah, I was like, what the hell? I literally was like, what? And then the game master was like, yo, here's the code, bro. And we're like, oh yeah, we took too long.
That's another one of the things that we do that might be different from other escape rooms is you have a time limit, so it's 100 minutes, but we will, if you're falling dramatically behind in some of the puzzles, we will give you codes so you can experience the full thing.
Yeah, I like that. That was super cool.
Yeah, so that way you go out feeling like you got your money's worth, rather than you spend the money to go there, and then they're like, and then you get stuck on one puzzle, and then you don't get to go through the rest of the room. Like, that's no fun for anybody. So yeah, sometimes if we have back-to-back games, so like every hour. Once we get the first group into a certain room, we can actually bring in another group. And
because you don't have to go back to that first living room at all. Yeah, you just don't have to.
Exactly.
Yeah, damn shit.
So that gets difficult though, because then like I'm literally because instead of having like 5 minutes between each scare, it's then like I'm doing scare after scare after
Right,
scare.
you're just going and going and going and going
sweaty,
and
and I'm
going.
like,
Yeah, right. Yeah, damn, shit. Oh shit. Someone asked if you've been punched and kicked, but you did talk about that.
Yes.
Is there any other times you've just been absolutely decked or coworker stories? You know, any coworker horror stories?
So I've been kicked and I've been called many slurs.
Sounds about right.
But I've never been like actually attacked.
Right.
However, I've gone up to people and tried to grab them, and they like I remember one guy. I went for this one girl, and this guy stood in front of her and like put his back to me and like put his arms around her, and I tried to move him, but he like tensed up.
Don't
and I was like,
don't take my girl, bro.
he tensed up, and I could sense like I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna move on, you know, because like. I don't want to get into a fight in there. Like, I don't want to have to fight with somebody. It's just annoying, you know?
Hell no.
So, yeah. And then I remember one of my friends, one of my coworkers, Joey, got like full on clotheslined and then body slammed in the room. Yeah. It's crazy.
Because they were scared? Or was it on accident?
They were drunk. So we make a big point of like, if you're noticeably intoxicated, you will probably not be allowed in because it's not only a danger to you guys, but it's a danger to us.
Yeah, you
know?
guys could get fucked up. Yeah, for sure.
And so, Joey did get like body slammed, and that was scary. And we kicked him out instantly. They're not allowed back, but it's like, so it does get intense in there. But you know, after a while, you kind of start to be able to read the room really well and be like, okay, this person is showing very aggressive tendencies.
Not gonna fuck with them.
Not gonna fuck with them.
For sure.
Exactly.
Yeah, so. I remember when you grabbed my roommate Adri for the body bag, and she was like, beforehand, she was like absolutely the most terrified to get taken separate, and I literally like low key, it made me so much less scared for the rest of the game because I was laughing so hard that I started crying, like because you went up to our friend the really tall guy, and like for the body bag, and you're like. Hell, dude's way too big.
No, dude, I would do that. Yep.
And then you turn to her and you just go, ew.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, man, like that seems so fucking rad. But
no, I've done that before. Like, I'll look at some groups and they have like really tall guys or whatever. And I'm just like, hell no, I'm not dragging all that. Or I'm not like trying to fit you into the body bag. And so I usually go for like small to middle sized people. Right. Just because it's easier on me. I'm not gonna blow my back out trying to drag him down the hallway.
Dude, because you gotta get him through that fucking door and then go like that shit. In the highlight reel, you see her get stuck and she's like, I got hit while I was being like, damn, that shit seems hard as fuck. But I guess the last thing is did you always want to be a Scareactor, or like was that you said it was by chance?
I didn't even know there was a thing. Like I genuinely did not even know scare acting, like at Not Scary Farm and stuff was a thing
for sure.
until I auditioned for s1e3 Reborn. And
this is a different level of scare acting too.
It is, yeah.
It's like
it's crazy. I've never seen or heard of anything like I'd seen those clips like of like the horror, like the haunted like houses and shit where they're like chasing them with chainsaws. And I was always kind of like, what is that? Like, what is that? Where is that? Who does that?
And now you're doing it.
Now I'm doing it.
You, bro. Now it's you in those highlight clips, man.
No, exactly. So yeah, I didn't even know, like I knew people acted in like horror movies, but they also acted in other genres. I didn't know there was like scare actors. I didn't know there was a thing. You know, obviously I would say like Bill Skarsgård is, you know, a scare. I would call him a scare actor. He does mostly horror movies. He's really good at it.
He's definitely made for that type of genre.
You know, like that kind of thing is really, really cool. It's definitely something that I've developed a passion for in just a couple of short months working at s1e3 Reborn.
Right.
And it's a great community too.
For sure. So, yeah, it's a cool career. Like for sure. I'm trying to break into it. I need to.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Like I've always wanted to do this since I was like 16. Like I'm like I gotta lock in and just do it somewhere. either if you guys have something or if I go to Scary Farm. But if I go to Scary Farm though, I'm not gonna want to do it unless I get streets. Yeah. Because I'm like I mean like they hire everyone and like which is great obviously that they hire everyone, but like that means that like you could just be really shitty at it and then you're in a maze that like no one gives a fuck about doing the same like go away. I could not do that shit. Like I need to like chase people. I need to like get in their face. Yeah, that's what I like. So
that's the cool thing about s1e3 Reborn is not every single game is different. There's different personalities inside the room. I mean, the scares are about the same, but like I remember there was one game a couple nights ago where this guy was like taunting me inside one of the rooms. So when they ran into the chop shop, we got one guy for body bag, grabbed another guy, dragged him all the way down to the hallway. I was like, get on your hands and knees. I'm screaming at this guy. And I'm like, you're going to crawl as fast as you can and bark like a fucking dog. Do you hear me? And the guy's like, ugh. So I like tase him in the ass. And the guy's like, he's like barking, crawling down the hallway. It was, dude, it was crazy. And then like last night we had a game where the guy was like, we dragged a guy out into the living room. And my coworker Clover was like trying to get him to like say something. She was like, what are you doing in my house? He was like, like grunting. I'm like, what? He's like laying face down, like going completely limp. And I was like, all right, well, we're gonna have to do something about this because they chose a normal game, so we couldn't tase him.
Right.
So whatever, that's not bad.
Man, we should have done the extreme.
And so we drag this guy back in. The next scare we do, I go in and I just handcuff him. Just like both of his hands, I just handcuff him. And then I drop the key way later in the escape room. So he walked through like half of that escape room.
And this was in normal?
This was in normal
Shit,
mode.
wait, why didn't we get handcuffs, bro? Fuck, that would have
Because you guys weren't annoying me.
Oh, shit, okay. Well, yeah,
Dude, watching him run down the hallway in handcuffs, when you're trying to run for your life in handcuffs, it is not easy.
That's dangerous. That's dangerous too. Well, it's like it's only dangerous if it's behind, but still, that's so funny.
So,
Holy shit.
Yeah, this like don't mess with us, basically.
Yeah, don't fuck with them, guys. Like, they'll fuck you up for sure. That's why I was like, let me just play the game. I'm gonna play the puzzles. Like, I'm not that scared, but I'm not trying to fuck around and find out.
No,
like,
exactly.
It's like, yeah. I guess the last question before you like can shout out stuff. What's your absolute favorite thing about music and also working at Zoe's? 2 for 1.
The creativity that gets involved with it. You can like creativity is so sick. You can come up with anything, dude.
Yeah,
do anything, come
really
up
do
with
anything,
anything. And if you have the passion and the willpower to pursue it, you can like do anything creatively.
Right.
You know, like I moved all the way from New York to California as a college student.
Right.
To pursue music,
right?
You know, and obviously I had my fair share of like lucky events that happened, or like you know, family connections and ties and stuff. But you know, being out here, then I'm out in California, and I don't have any connections to anything music wise, or the scare acting wise.
And the scene here for music is hard to break into.
So I was like, I'm out here alone. And I immediately, like, I started talking to people in my classes. I started meeting professors. I started talking to, like, random people on the sidewalk who looked like they were involved in music. And through that, I was able to kind of start building myself a reputation, a name, like, start getting myself out and about. So if you have and I know talking to people sucks. I know going up to people and talking, like, sucks, dude, you know? But, like,
horrible at that shit, man.
You know, it's part of the job. You know, if you're a musician, you have to be good at it. If you're a creative, you have to be good at networking, and it comes with the territory. So.
Yeah, I feel like the hardest part about being like an indie musician, like in the early stages, which we both are, is like if you have a connection, then it's like actually committing to that like connection with someone. Like I'm mutuals with a bunch of people on Instagram, and I've like seen them at shows or whatever, local shows or like even shows that they're playing in. And even though we follow each other, I get freaked the fuck out. And I'm like, this person is like legit. Like, and I'm this like fucking indie kid. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Like, I'm just making shit in my room. And this guy is like cool as hell. It like intimidates me. I feel like that's definitely the one thing that you gotta like hump over. But yeah.
And then another big thing, like kind of like some advice I would give is don't ever undersell yourself.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I don't care if you have the shittiest setup and you're recording through a pedal that has like a USB out to your computer and it sounds like ass, you know, like, dude, come on. I don't care what you're doing or what kind of setup you have. Don't undersell yourself.
Right,
if you feel like if you're given the opportunity, you can prove that you belong in the big leagues, act like you do. Don't be a jackass. Don't be egotistical, but be but know that if you're given the opportunity, you can excel when given that opportunity. And so I see a lot of people like totally underselling themselves, totally being like, you know, very, and obviously self-deprecation is not bad. Being humble is a huge thing, especially in the industry. Like I've met with like big like I just had an interview for the Garza podcast with Chris Garza, and like the biggest thing they're looking for is just someone who isn't an asshole, someone who's not egotistical.
Right? Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Like,
which is hard.
And so like for any interview, even for like interviews, like
it has 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll wrap this
yeah,
up.
go
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
No,
I'm so
no,
sorry.
you're good.
Yeah. I guess shout out your last stuff really quickly.
Yeah.
before
So,
we go.
William Shrike is my stage name. I'm on all platforms. I have a show coming up on March 6th, and then Third Eye Protocol has a show on March 8th at the Doll Hut.
For sure. Yeah. And shout out
catch
Zoe
that.
Reborn, Escapade Games.
Amen to
Go
that.
there. You can see this kid terrorize you. Anyways, that's the Heart to Heart show. Fuck. It stopped.
Hold on. I'll just start it again.
Okay. It's okay. The camera got fucked up. But anyways, thank you for Heart to Heart show. This is the third episode as of now. This will be out for Monday for them. So for Monday, you'll be able
yeah.
to see it. This will also be on Spotify if you're watching. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much
the
for having me
first
on.
official
That was
interview
awesome.
ever.
I loved it.
So yeah, maybe
Proud to be here.
Maybe when you're in the big leagues, famous, we can do another one. come back, talk about the
yeah.
difference. You know,
Hell yeah.
Go to Escapade Games. I literally cannot stress that enough. That was the most fun I've ever had at a horror themed thing. Like
Yeah.
genuinely. So yeah.
Yep.
Episode
Thank you guys
3.
so much.
Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
Adios.